What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a fantastic day, and thank you for coming back to the channel. So, on our free-to-play account, we've now hit the 2-week mark. As you can see here, we just finished phase 1. I grabbed the souls, and now we're working our way through this little tracker where eventually we will get the 5-star soul eventually for Alice, along with a primal shard, so that's cool. Outside of that, we have just been kind of steady grinding food, really. I mean, if you look at our champ list, we've got Kale, still 60, of course. Vergus is still 50, though we're really, really close to being able to get him to 6-star. And this is kind of the first place where I begin to kind of second guess some of the choices I made. I don't necessarily regret bringing Kale to 6 stars, but from what I've kind of gathered, it's odd because normally getting your starter to 6 stars is a really good idea, but I think the timing of the champion chase with Alice maybe should have changed the way I thought about it a little bit. Getting Alice to 6 stars seems like a really good idea because even though I wouldn't be able to book her anytime soon, her cooldowns aren't egregiously long. I mean, 4 turns is pretty long, but book down to 3. I mean, 4 turns is still serviceable, especially on something like her Clockwork Cyclone, where she hits with it and is going to increase the cooldown of all the enemy's abilities and basically be able to Clockwork Cyclone immediately again. Along with the passive, the extra hits on the A1s, 3-time hitter would be really, really good for a place like Fire Knight. So I have a little bit of buyer's remorse with bringing Kale to 6-star. He's still been doing absolutely fantastic for me, but I think if I could go back and change, I might have gone with Alice first. And really the big reason is because you're guaranteed a 5-star soul for her. And that 5-star soul is really, really powerful. Other than that, I mean, Belor has been great. I mean, he's been bringing all of my debuffs. They're all the small version, but they definitely help. And the block active skills also on the A1. The amount of times I've been able to lock waves down and not take a whole bunch of incoming damage because of it cannot be overstated. Gorgorab has also been doing great for me, especially in Arena, where Gorgorab is more of an arena specialist. I've been kind of toying around with the idea of keeping Gorgorab on the main dungeon team for now, or whether or not I want to invest in Diabolist, mostly because the one thing Diabolist brings that Gorgorab doesn't is Diabolist brings the increased speed, which is kind of the only reason why we have Eris. I mean, Eris's ability to remove a random debuff from all allies has been really helpful. But I think if I brought Diabolist up to at least 5-star and booked her out, which I do have quite a few copies of her sitting in my champion vault, as you can see, I think the turn meter manipulation might be worth more in the long run. So I'm kind of toying around with that idea. Let me know what you think. Because right now, my main 5 are Kale, Vergus, Belor, Gorgorab, and Eris. And if I brought Diabolist up, I could maybe swap out Eris and Gorgorab and bring in maybe another nuker like Alice. Or I could bring in, another tank or someone that helps survive the waves better. We also, through some of our pulls, we were able to pull an Athel. And I actually think I'm going to invest in her a little bit. Mostly for one, she's a really good secondary next to Alice for Sacred Order Faction Hall. She also has the triple hitter on her A1 and the nuke, the AoE nuke on her A2, and then the A3 allowing her to cycle, give herself crit and attack. So that's kind of where I'm at with champions right now. We've really been using a lot of our resources pretty heavily. But I mean, as you can see, I have a lot of food ready to rank up. I've kind of just been ranking them up and leaving them for now until I know I have enough to get somebody, whether it be Vergus or I double back and make Alice my next 6-star. I'm leaving these guys leveled mostly for faction wars. Outside of that, we've been kind of making our ways pretty nonchalantly through the dungeons. Was able to clear stage 10 of Ice Golem, the event dungeon. We've gone to stage 6. Spider's Den is the hardest one because while I do have Kale for AoEs, and that's about it. And I have Bellower, but Bellower is not set for damage. So until I get some kind of HP burner, I'm not really 100% on getting getting further than stage 4. Dragon's Lair, we're on stage 12. And Fire Knight, we actually haven't dipped into much, mostly because the Arbiter missions haven't really sent us there yet. And I know that Fire Knight, especially for early game, is the hardest one because it's the only one that has a really hard necessity for what you need to bring. Like, you need to bring champions that can knock his shield off so you can deal damage to him. And you need to be able to do enough damage to where when his turn comes back and he heals himself, you're not kind of in this endless loop until you die. So I haven't really touched much Fire Knight. Sand Devil's Necropolis, we did stage 2 for, I think we had a advanced quest that wanted us to ascend a piece of gear. And Phantom Shogun's Grove, we haven't even touched yet. I don't think we'd be able to. As for the potion keeps, most potion keeps I'm on stage 7, between 7 and 10, I think, on most of them. Mostly because I just haven't really been focusing on them very much. In Arena, we've gotten ourselves up to Silver 4, where we are doing pretty well for ourselves. I mean, if you look at this battle log, we are not doing so hot on defense. And on offense, we've lost a couple, mostly down to just not being able to outspeed the opponents. You know, Sinesha was, I thought maybe Gorgrab would go faster. He was just behind. And then Loki locked us out. And then here, I don't know what this person... I don't know who Bob, what kind of gear he put on his Loki, but his Loki was going ridiculously fast and just locked out my whole team on turn 1. So other than that, Tag Team Arena, we've been doing all right. We've basically just been aiming for easy fights, and easy is relative because even some of the 1v1s that we've been trying to pull in our favor did not quite go in our favor. But we're winning a lot more than we're losing, and we're getting the tokens, which is nice because we're going to start trying to grab as many of these fragments as often as we can for Drekthar. On to the clan bosses. On easy, we are able to just quick battle, obviously, and do quite well for ourselves. I think clan boss is another one where I kind of want Alice, because with her legendary, I think with her legendary soul, I would just put Brimstone on her and it would be really, really beneficial for me. She could just go through and deal a lot more damage to dungeon bosses and the clan boss. I was able to find myself a clan that is right pretty much where I need to be. They're clearing easy every day. They're killing normal and hard, and they're struggling on brutal. So I'm nowhere near trying to challenge hard or brutal, but I can usually 2 or 3 key normal and then 1 key easy. So at least I'm getting I'm getting the 4 chests a day. I haven't been lucky enough to get any ancient shards yet. Mostly just been getting potions and brews. Chimera, we took a stab at it, and I think on our... Let's see, where were we? Did I not do easy? Oh, I might have tried to run normal. No. That's weird, because I only have 1 key, but I don't know where I would have used that 1 key if not easy and normal, so... That's a bit of a weird... Oh, you know what? I used that key before I changed clans, and that's why I have the ineligible marker, so... We were able to... I think we were able to 2 key, or we're on track to maybe 2... If we got 3 keys, we could 3 key and do about 4 million damage, but unfortunately we do not, and I'm getting about 1.5 million a run so far, so definitely something to work on, because, as soon as you can start working on these chests, you can get some of these drops for artifacts. The clan gold is always good, and slowly but surely, maybe hopefully getting some emery fragments. Doom Tower couldn't even kill the first wave, so kind of avoiding Doom Tower for now. I tried it, but even manualing, I just don't have the raw power necessary to start pushing my way through these waves. I think once I can get a couple more champs up to 50 and 60, I might be able to at least get myself through this first little leg of Doom Tower to get some of these free rewards, maybe start working on some of the the very first secret room. And I believe the first person is Bommel, I believe, in this rotation. So I don't know if I'll be able to kill Bommel anytime soon with this squad. Yeah. That's probably not gonna be happening. Other than that, just slowly building up our shard count. We got 24 ancients, 3 voids, and man, I want to pull shards so bad. So bad. The thing about free to play is I definitely need to learn a little more self-discipline. I haven't pulled any shards yet, except for that one sacred that Gorgrab came out from, and that was on a 2x event. But the urge is definitely there. On our missions, we're kind of stuck here because in Ice Golem, I am at the point where I can technically get 5-star drops, right? Stage 10 will does have the potential to drop me 5-star stuff, and it's only 4 or 5, so it's obviously better than stage 9. The problem is I tried running, I did about 5 or 6 runs, and all I got was 4-star gear. And so I've kind of decided that I'm going to keep focusing on getting my champions leveled up until maybe I can squeak out stage 13. And then at least at that point, we have 5 and 6-star options, and the chances of getting a 4-star piece are lower. So then we'll be able to do that a little more energy efficiently. Other than that, just logging in every day, doing all of my dailies. I'm kind of behind today because me and the missus went out for some sushi, and it was quite good. But it was kind of one of those conveyor belt all-you-can-eat sushi places, so I've kind of got stuffed baby syndrome where you just eat a bunch and then you're tired afterwards. So I'm trying to do today's going to be just a quick recap, short video, just kind of telling you guys where I'm at after 2 weeks. I've made some pretty good progress, I think. I mean, other than potentially leveling up Alice instead of Kale, I'm pretty satisfied with where I'm at right now. Fully maxed out the gem mine, and controversially, maybe, I grabbed my first slot in the sparring pit, and I'm going to be using my next 900 gems to unlock these next 3 slots. Now, my next video, I'm going to break down all of the math and tell you exactly why I think the Guardian Ring sparring pit is something that you should invest in, especially if you plan on using your account for any length of time, say 3 months, 6, maybe a year. Getting these unlocked as fast as possible is absolutely worth your time and investment. So there it is. After 2 weeks, this is kind of where we're at, and I'll probably do a weekly showcase. The first couple of days of the account are really exciting because you have tons of energy. The world is your oyster, and you're just pushing through. And then afterwards, slowly but surely, week after week, it just becomes more of, I don't want to say monotonous, but there's not really much to report on. You know, a lot of my big achievements, like getting my first 6-star, getting my gem mine unlocked, getting a lot of this stuff unlocked, is already done. And so now it's just spending most of my energy right now running 12-3 brutal to try to get my core first, like 4 or 5 champs maxed out, so then I can really make a secondary push trying to push dungeons. My ultimate goal right now is to get all of these dungeons up to stage 13, and in Dragon we're really close actually. Get to stage 13, and then of course your milestones are stage 13, 16, and then finally 20. So yeah, I'm hoping by the end of the month, I will be able to get to at least let's say stage 16, maybe 13 or 16 in all of the dungeons. And from there, I'll let you guys know how it's been. But thanks for stopping in today. Sorry if this wasn't the most exciting video, but tomorrow, I will definitely be posting a video with everybody's favorite thing, math, about why I think a lot of people are wrong and why the sparring pit, after you've spent the 800 gems on your first champion's masteries and unlocked your gem mine, if you're in a long-term investment for a free-to-play account, sparring pit is the next place that you're going to sink. What is this? Your next 1,200 gems. So that's been all for me, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Show me some love in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.